hills of Nongoma, where the Zulu sun paints the sky in shades of honey, lived a young princess named Senamile. Though she was born of royal lineage, her heart did not yearn for a crown of gold. Instead, she looked at the vast African sky and wondered about the invisible building blocks of the universe. She knew that her path would lead her far from the village, toward the mysteries of the smallest particles. Life, however, had lessons to teach Senamile before she reached the laboratory. While still very young, she became a mother to a beautiful baby girl named Nomvula. The whispers in the village were heavy, and the weight of being a teenage parent was great. But Senamile held Nomvula close, promising her daughter that their story would be one of triumph, not of limitations. She knew she would have to work twice as hard to prove her worth to a world that had already judged her. Darkness fell when Senamile lost her precious Nomvula. The grief was a deep, silent ocean, and for a time, the stars seemed to lose their glow. But in the quiet moments of her sorrow, Senamile found a new kind of strength. She decided to dedicate her life to the pursuit of knowledge, turning her pain into a bridge for others. She would not just survive, she would soar, carrying the memory of her daughter into the very heart of science. Senamile entered the world of nuclear physics, a place where few women, and even fewer black women, were seen. She met Saifo, a fellow researcher who saw her brilliance but also the obstacles she faced. "They will doubt you because of your skin and your gender," Saifo warned. Senamile nodded, her eyes steady. She knew that to be the first, she had to be the best. She spent late nights studying the dance of atoms, proving that a princess from Nongoma belonged in the highest circles of science. Her brilliance took her across the ocean to TRIUMF in Canada, a place of cold winds and giant machines. There, Senamile worked with isotopes that existed for only a heartbeat. She felt the thrill of discovery, realizing that the laws of physics were a universal language that connected the snowy peaks of Canada back to the warm hills of her home. She was no longer just a student, she was a pioneer. In 2017, Senamile made history at CERN in Switzerland. She became the first black female nuclear scientist from South Africa to lead a research team there. She studied the selenium-70 isotope, peering into the very core of matter. The world began to call her the Queen of Science. She had traded her royal title for a different kind of sovereignty, one built on data, logic, and the courage to ask why. But Senamile knew that science was not just for laboratories, it was for people. She took on leadership roles at NECSA and the BRICS Youth Energy Agency. She spoke to world leaders about the just energy transition, arguing that Africa's future depended on clean, sustainable power. She wanted every village to have the light she had found in her research, ensuring that economic freedom was built on the back of scientific innovation. Senamile looked back at the girls who were starting where she had begun. She founded the Senamile Masango Foundation and Wise Africa to mentor young women in STEM. One afternoon, she sat with a student named Lulama, who was nervous about her math exam. "You have the power of the stars within you," Senamile told her. "Do not let anyone tell you where you belong. You are the architect of your own destiny." She taught the girls that science was a tool for community upliftment. Together with Lulama, Senamile visited a rural school to install a new solar energy panel. "This is not just electricity," Senamile explained as the lights flickered on. "This is the power to study at night, the power to dream, and the power to change our world." She showed them that being a scientist meant being a servant of the people. Though Senamile's journey ended in 2025, her light continues to shine through every girl who picks up a telescope or a test tube. Lulama now stands where Senamile once did, looking at the stars with confidence. The Queen of Science left behind a kingdom not of land, but of possibilities. To every girl in science, her message remains: work hard, stay brave, and remember, the universe is waiting for you to discover its secrets.